All right, here's my prediction about oil and oil jobs in America in the future. Not so much right now. I wouldn't get involved in the oil field right now. I would go to school for something you want to study in, whether that means get your CDL right now, get your hazmat right now. Do something along those lines to get involved in the oil fields. Or even if your thing is to be an engineer or something along those lines, a chemist, go ahead and get your certifications you're studying in, so you're more hireable when the oil field boom just does start up again in America. Because President Biden, in the beginning of his presidency, stopped the pipeline from Canada to America. That's about to happen again once he's out of presidency, which I firmly believe a Republican is going to take over after he's out of office. That's what the country needs, for sure. And that's when the jobs in oil will be back. I'm not going to get into the whole Russia shit, but this Russian war is going to cause us to go to a whole nother level of inflation that we have never seen before. And even when COVID happened, we haven't seen it. We've never seen it. It's going to be followed by a recession. There's a recession happening by the latest at the end of 2022. It's probably going to be happening this summer. Give this war a couple months and see where the fuck we're at. I would predict it's this summer. From the research I've been doing, from what some people high up have told me on YouTube, it's going to be happening this summer. A recession's going to hit. Everything is going to tank again. So save your money up for that, and that's going to be a great time to invest for all you guys looking for the next investment on a dip. The dip is coming. It's going to be before 2023. That's 100% guaranteed. And as far as oil field jobs go, wait it out until our next president. That's how I feel. He's got America in a total fucking mess right now when it comes to oil. We still are the #1 producer of oil, but he's like barely hanging on to that thread. So just keep that in mind before just heading out to an oil field town or something like that. That Biden is your president. He's not a Republican. He's all about go green and shit like that. So he's really monitoring the oil that we make here. He still wants to be #1 at oil production, but it's something he doesn't really talk on, and that kind of scares me if my profession is oil. So I would stick at your job now, study about it, put your applications in now, you know what I mean? Say you're coming after this president is out of office. But even so, you can hit up companies now to see what their take is on it. You know what I mean? I'm not no oil company yet. I don't have an oil company. But that's what I'm thinking. I would wait it out until Republicans in office, and then the oil fields will be booming again. But honestly, guys, take what I say with a grain of salt. Who am I besides just some YouTuber walking along the beach in freaking Puerto Rico? I'm not in Dubai. I'm not no fucking like oil expert or anything like that. So take it with a grain of salt, guys. That's just my take on it. I'm one person. I'm one uneducated person. I just like the dream, and that's why the whole channel is called Dream Creators, because we dream here. We make dreams into reality. And if your dream is to be a roughneck or be an oil field worker, I'm here to help you make it happen. It's not hard at all. And going to the oil fields back when I was younger was one of the best experiences I've ever done in my life. It was fucking fantastic. I would do it again in a heartbeat. But since I'm established entrepreneur now, it's going to be to set up a business there. Like, no bullshit, like set up a business there. You know, I'm no longer a green hand. I'm a fucking entrepreneur that sets up shit and hires people. So, but if you're just a green hand or just a greenhorn or grasshopper or just a floor hand, there's nothing wrong with that either. I totally respect guys like that. You know what I mean? You just a chain in the block. You know, every position needs to get filled in this world. And if God's telling you to do something, I firmly believe you should do it. And I will say this, if you're being called to go to the oil fields in America or Canada, just go do it, man. No matter what anybody says, as long as you have this is the most important part, save up enough money so you have, you can afford your own house, afford your own apartment. Yes, there are companies that supply housing, but in my opinion, I'm kind of against it. Like, unless you have like a cool boss, and it's really rare to find a good situation where you're actually gonna be staying at your company housing. I company hopped when I was up there in North Dakota on the oil field, just because, like, some of these companies, man, they're fucked up. Like, they're corrupt. This is oil we're speaking of. It's like, this ain't no fucking landscape company. This ain't no fucking construction company. This is oil we're talking about. People are corrupt when it comes to this shit. And they'll treat you some type of way, depending on a few things: your experience, your intelligence, the way you speak, the way you conduct yourself. Are you a leader? Are you a follower? All these things that society usually just pushes away, like, they call you out for that bullshit in the oil field. So keep that in mind. I would pick a city, get a year lease on the shit, on your apartment or whatever it is, or get a month-to-month apartment, just so you have that flexibility of, hey, I have my own spot, I have my Wi-Fi, I have my own electricity, I have my computer there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have a good time. If you get a girl up there, you have a good time, you know what I mean? You have your own spot. Versus the way I did it like the broke boy way, which I don't recommend it, but you can make it this way if you have the right mindset and you're dedicated towards it, which is like, I just went for company housing. Which I just wanted to mention that because, you know, a lot of companies, like I said, I company hopped. I did like 3 different companies when I was in North Dakota at least. Because you're always looking for the next big company. Until you get where you're supposed to be in the oil fields, I feel like job hop like a motherfucker. That's the way to do it, in my opinion, because I remember I got a roughneck job, my first roughneck job, and I was only getting paid $21 an hour. To, like, fuck that, dude. And even though I didn't have experience in the oil fields per se, I have experience as being a hard fucking worker, and I know I'm worth $30 an hour anywhere I go as a worker. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of mindset you have to get into. Yeah, $21 an hour sounds great. You know what I mean? It sounds fucking fantastic to a lot of y'all. I can imagine, especially if you come from a different economy than Massachusetts or somewhere I come from. But it's time to boss up, man. It's time to boss up as a worker and realize what your worth really is. You know what I mean? You're going to be working so fucking hard, and you already work so hard. It's time to get what you work for, or for your work ethic. Like, let's match our pay for our work ethic here, and do not settle until you get it. You know what I mean? Don't settle until you get it. Set the bar, whether it's you set the bar at $21 an hour. You're not going to work anywhere for less than $21 an hour, or you're not going to work anywhere for less than $200 a day. Both are extremely attainable. I'd rather you go find somewhere that you work for a day rate. I really like day rate. That's why I like asphalt. That's why I like trees. You know what I mean? I haven't found any oil companies that I work for. I'm sure they're out here that they pay per day rate. Like, if you're driving trucks and you're a good truck driver, I believe someone should pay you $300 a day regardless, because they're going to tell you, oh yeah, you're going to be making like $400 a day, right? But it all depends on the loads they give you. It all depends on the dispatch and the loads they give you. You have no control. So if they say, oh yeah, you make about on average $400 a day, just be like, all right, roger that. Then give me $350 a day every single time I log into my driver's log, period. Like $350 a day, or else I'm not working for you. I know my worth. Somebody who's real, who has a real company, will fucking honor that in a heartbeat. If they don't want to honor that in a heartbeat, especially if you have experience, especially if you know you're a hard worker and you're going to get the loads done, then don't even talk to them. Like, for real. Like, I'm a business owner now. If someone says that to me and they tell me what they're worth and I see what they're worth, I'm like, yeah, I can make money with them. You know what I mean? Like, I can make money off somebody who wants to get $350 a day, period. If you're worth that, you're worth that to the market. You're worth that to me. Because that $350 a day, my truck's going to be making $1,000 or $1,500 a day off you. And I'm just paying you $350 a day. So that little $350 investment some days I have to pay out of my pocket is going in the bank. You know what I mean? That's the way you got to think of these things. But a lot of oil field companies, when it comes to truck driving at least, they do percentages. So it's all about how many percentages you get per load or how many loads you get per day. So you want to be in an industry that gets a lot of loads. That's why like oil is big, like hauling oil, hauling water is a big one. If you get into hauling water, you're all set. Hauling sand is great and fun and easy. But since it's so easy, anybody can do it. So like I said, unless you get with a company that's going to pay you that day rate, don't even do fucking sand. Sand sucks. There was one day in sand I made, I think it was, how much did I make? At least $600. It was like $700 in one day. But I just got lucky, man. I was the only one on the clock at that time. And the timing was perfect. You know what I mean? Very, like if it was like that every day, I would have never, ever left North Dakota. Never. If I was making $700 a day consistently or $600 a day consistently driving those trucks like that, I would have been having a fucking blast, but I wasn't. Some days I make 100, some days I make 200. There was no consistency. Some days I make 0 because there was no fucking loads. So there was no consistency. Just before you go out there, make sure there's consistency. Like I said, make sure you're on a day's salary. It just makes sense to be getting paid on a day's salary. If somebody's going to promise you, if you work hard, this is what they're going to tell you. If you work hard, you'll make $400 a day. Okay, roger that. Give me $300 a day salary, bottom line, period. I know what I'm fucking worth. And you can explain to them, I have this experience or that experience, or you know you're a hard worker, you're going to show up every day, you're not going to complain, you're not going to show up high, you're not going to show up drunk, you can pass the drug test. You know what I'm saying? Like COVID-19 doesn't fucking affect you. Just say these things that make you hardcore, that make you stand out from the competition, and you'll be good wherever you go. If somebody says that to me as a business owner, I own a tree company now. You know what I'm saying? I respect and honor that, man. I want them to live up to that, so I'll put them up to the test and I'll give them that money. It's a bet I'm willing to take on somebody. If somebody is willing to say that about themselves and bet on themselves so much like that, I give them the green light, man. I'll like get up in that tree and cut down a tree for me. You know what I'm saying? Like same thing with the oil field. Like people are gonna be like, okay, get up in that fucking rig and stack some pipe for me to see what you got. The same thing goes with asphalt too. I'm a huge asphalt guy. I love fucking the asphalt industry. I'm just as passionate as that as I am trees and oil and, you know what I mean? They all go hand in hand to me. They're all bare essentials to the world that we live in and how we operate. And with that, guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hope you liked the video. Hope you liked the cinematic effect I did on this last take. And yeah, you know we getting it, man. We know we getting it in 2022. Regardless, bring COVID back. Bring fucking the Russian army into our fucking country. We'll fucking get it, guys. That's just the mindset. That's just the mindset. We're gonna get this shit. We're creating dreams here. The society wants to teach you how to not create your dreams. We're creating the dreams here. That's why we changed the name of the channel. Merch coming soon. Keep that optimistic attitude, guys. No matter what the fuck happens to you, no matter what gets put in your path, and when you get off path, hit your boy up. That's what I'm here for, man. Like, I'm not even selling you shit. I'm just here to talk to you. Like, here to talk to you. Hit up my Snapchat. Eventually, I will be selling you something. Like, I just don't sell anything yet. That's it. I'm gonna be making this YouTube thing a business, man. This YouTube thing's a business. That's why I'm posting every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the dot, period. No excuses. Let's fucking go. Peace.